A guy that has a pretty good read on Jacoby Brissett is Keyshawn Johnson. This is from ESPN's KJM. Listen to what he says, and the argument was made about Jacoby Brissett and what his record in the NFL is. Here's Keyshawn Johnson defending him.
I can break it all the way down for you. In 2016, he was backing up Tom Brady. Then he eventually backed up Jimmy Garoppolo. Then he went 1-1 in the loss. He got hurt. Okay. In 2017, the Colts were horrible. You and I couldn't do anything for them at the height of our careers, Harry. Didn't matter. And in 2019, again, they running the same team back. Impatient, as you can see with Jim Irsay. Then they go 7-8, which is not great, which is not bad. It's just whatever it is. Then he go to the Dolphins. They got a guy in Tua. He's the backup there. He goes 2-3. That's enough for me as a head coach to understand what I have as a quarterback. I think in this league too many times, people see a quarterback pushed aside and just automatically assume, oh, he can't play, he can't do this, he can't do that. Circumstances, situations, and your surroundings will dictate what your career is going to be like at the quarterback spot. If Tom Brady didn't get the opportunity when Drew Bledsoe was knocked out by Mo Lewis, that same year, the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick was thinking quarterback in the draft at a higher level. But Tom essentially came in and he started, it was like, okay, we don't want to disrupt anything.
And G. Bush, I'll add two things to what he said. That 4-11 year, the Colts traded for Jacoby Brissett on September 2nd. So he didn't have any advanced thing with the playbook, didn't really know the plays or the players, no time in the system. And his main running back was 34-year-old Frank Gore. So when you look at the record, there's those things need to come into account. What are your thoughts on Brissett?
Well, first of all, he was never drafted, and Keyshawn was right. Keyshawn, I think this might be the third or fourth time I might have said Keyshawn is right? He's very opinionated. But when it comes to this, I think he's spot on. He was never drafted to be some sort of top 10, top 15 quarterback. That was never his game. It was like, hey, he's a guy who we think can play in this league, has some skill, but he was never drafted as if he was going to be drafted that he was a franchise guy. Then you look at the circumstances and when he's coming into play. He came in, he's in New England. He's spot shadowed, right? And you go to Indianapolis, he's brought in right before the season. They were horrible. Andrew Luck just says, hey, guys, I'm done. He has to clean up for that. And then the next year, 7-8, that's not too bad. It's 500 or whatever the case may be. But then, they move on and go and try to get somebody else like Carson Wentz. You see how that worked out. That didn't work out too well. And then, he had a situation in Miami where he was spot shadowing and coming in for Tua, who was a starter. I think one of the things that really is being overblown is his win-loss record. Like, he's a traditional backup, and I think he understands that he's a backup. But the thought that the Browns are going to be 3-8 or 4-something while he's playing is crazy. The guy is competent. He's a competent football player. The Browns have a lot of pieces around him, and I just think people are very overblown when it comes to believing that either Jacoby Brissett is the second coming or Jacoby Brissett is some dog on the side of the road who nobody wants to play catch with. Like, he's neither. He's a guy that can get it done, and he's going to have to work with Stefanski to come up with an innovative playbook in order to highlight and mask some of his deficiencies.